The Senate and House Judiciary Conference Committee will come to order, and we'll hand the floor over to Chairman Patton.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chairwoman. We have a position from this, or an offer from the House that when Natalie gets organized, we'll have her pass out. What this does is it basically reverts 286 to how it entered Conference Committee, so with the two amendments from the House. But then we took a look at that restraint language that I indicated earlier we would take a look at, and met with law enforcement, also met with the medical hospital officials to see if they were okay with this. And so we, well, I'll have Natalie explain to you what she did, but she moves restraint to the end and then describes what restraint is, instead of making it kind of really broad, which I think was a concern of some.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So what this would do would essentially take that second paragraph there and divide it into 3 subparagraphs. So you would have knowingly impeding any employee of a hospital from the performance of such employee's duties or activities through the, and then A would be, or the use of, and then A would be restraint with the intent to prevent such employee from freely moving to a different location or to provide care for another person. B would then be through the use of abduction, coercion, or intimidation. And then C would be through the use of force, violence, or the threat thereof.
So that would be our offer back. We also have language, as I indicated, we were working on that would, your new section 1 that you had proposed in your offer that dealt with vaccination passports and whether or not a patient had to be vaccinated to get health care. We also have a document that we can pass out. It's not part of this. As I indicated, I've been visiting with our health chair, and I visited with her again over break. Whether or not we can ultimately find something that it would go with Judiciary or not, but she certainly thinks she's got spots that this could go in something in a health committee bundle, as well as other things that we may have between us that you had in 541, and she's got a couple bills that came over from your committee also on COVID, chemo, emergency management, those types of things that I think the next step would be to figure out where those discussions are going to take place. I think my side is leaning towards a health committee, and it could be, I even offered up that I could it could be something chaired by our health committee, but I could serve on it, and maybe you guys would have some combination of Senate, Judiciary, or I mean, sorry, Judiciary and health on the other side. I don't know what that looks like yet. That's, people get higher pay grade. Well, maybe not. Some of them are on the other side here to determine what that looks like. But as those discussions happen, maybe a combination of health and Judiciary makes some sense.
Thank you. Just a question for the reviser on the House language for vaccination status section. KSA 65-425. Is that, are those hospitals only, or I haven't pulled up that statute yet, and I am pulling that up. The computer's a little slow, but. Oh, I have it. And so if you could just clarify what the proposed language does.
Sure. So a medical care facility as defined in KSA 65-425 would mean a hospital, an ambulatory surgical center, or recuperation center, except that that term medical care facility would not include hospice as defined in the Medicare Act.
Thank you for the counter offer, and we have it in writing now, and we will then confer with the president and see what the thoughts are there. And I'm going to suggest that we adjourn. We have a 1 o'clock conference committee between Senate Judiciary and House Corrections and Juvenile Justice. And then upon adjournment of that committee, that we reconvene this committee, so we can get as much done before the House is on the floor as possible. Right. So we're on the floor at 2, but my understanding is you don't think you're going to take very long at corrections. That's what I'm thinking as well.
Perfect. So we'll just, I'm going to hang out and watch. So, and I can let my side know if you guys, when you guys get done, if they wander away.
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you very much. Then we are until the Senate Judiciary and House Juvenile Corrections and Juvenile Justice Conference Committee adjourns. We are adjourned until that time. Thank you.